In fact, a brand new severe thunderstorm warning just popped up as I was walking over here in parts of western Alabama. So very gusty wind already impacting the southeast. And as this front continues to move to the east through the day today, it is going to impact states from Mississippi all the way into Tennessee, into Georgia and the Florida Panhandle. So if you had any travel plans today, maybe you were taking a flight up to Atlanta. I know that's a huge connector for flights out of this area. Just know you need to keep a really close eye on them. Let's talk about the fog. Definitely not as thick as yesterday. Where we're seeing some more elevated wind, which is very close to the water, you could see completely clear visibility, but where the winds is a little calmer up along the nature coast, we're starting to see some dense fog develop. In Zephyr Hills, you're down to half a mile of visibility. Brooksville at 2 miles of visibility. So we will be keeping an eye on how that progresses through the morning. But as we said yesterday, I don't expect that fog to be near as widespread as it was yesterday. Temperatures to get your Tuesday started in the upper 50s to low 60s. Warmer closer to the water. Look at Tampa and St. Pete at 70 and 71 degrees. 62 in Wesley Chapel, 57 in Bartow, 59 right now in Brooksville, 67 in Sarasota. You'll notice that warmer and more muggy start to the day. We'll start with mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies, but clouds will gradually increase through the day, and that's a sign, at least one of them, that that front is on the way. High temperatures today topping out in the low 80s. Can't completely rule out a stray shower either. That rain coverage today only at about 10%, but we do have a nice cool down on the way for you. In fact, a brand new tornado warning popping up just to the east of Jackson near Meridian, Mississippi, and severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for a lot of Alabama. It's all along this front that's moving through the southeast, and this is going to continue to push east. So notice if you have travel plans anywhere from Mississippi to Georgia, including Atlanta, throughout the morning, some of those flights may very well get delayed. The big one we're going to be watching, of course, Atlanta, because that is a huge hub. It's not called the busiest airport in the world for a reason, right? So we'll be keeping a very close eye on the weather. And of course, we have Christina at the airport for you, watching those flights and all the delays and cancellations, because no doubt this weather system is going to impact some of those flights later today. Here at home, though, it is quiet as we wait for that front to move in. It's going to move in just in time for the Thanksgiving holiday. Thankfully, again, not going to bring us severe weather, and unfortunately only bring us a low end rain chance. We sure need that rain. Here's a look at the visibility. Fog definitely not as bad this morning. We do have some dense fog developing in Brooksville and Zephyr Hills this morning, so northern Pasco and Hernando County. Temperatures out there this morning generally in the low to mid 60s, warmer closer to the water at 70 in Tampa, 66 in Seminole, 61 in Trinity, 66 in West Chase, 59 in Thanodasassa, 61 in Zephyr Hills, 58 in Brooksville, 65 in Sebring, 67 in Sarasota. You're going to notice that more warm and muggy feel out there. Our wind is starting to shift out of the south ahead of that front, so you will notice it'll be a warm and slightly more muggy day. High temperatures today back in the low to maybe mid 80s for our inland communities. Let's take you through Futurecast, because not only do we have this weather system, but there's another sneaking by that's going to move through the Great Lakes region. So if you have travel plans up north towards places like Michigan, Wisconsin, Illinois, rain and snow possible going into Wednesday. But the big one we're going to be watching, of course, is multiple rounds of storms, not only this morning, but later this afternoon and evening across the southeast. So again, if you had travel plans with a connecting flight in Atlanta today, you got to keep an eye on that, because they're expecting multiple rounds of storms today. Low end rain chance today and tomorrow. Notice just a spotty shower possible in the afternoon because that humidity will be higher. But then here comes Thanksgiving on Thursday. That front sinking south. We'll see mostly cloudy skies to start. And I do think we'll see more cloud cover on Thursday, but cooler air will usher in during the day. So for Thanksgiving, I actually lowered our high temperature. Take a look at this. 74 degrees with a nice breeze for Turkey Day. Yeah, that's pretty nice. It'll be overall a really nice Thanksgiving. Rain and snow to parts of Michigan and Wisconsin today, northern Illinois. So if you had travel plans up to the Great Lakes, something to keep in mind today and tomorrow. But of course, this weather system is the one that's really potent in bringing that severe weather, and still continues to this morning. Take a look at this red polygon here. Yeah, that's a tornado warning in far eastern Mississippi. Tons of severe thunderstorm warnings in central Alabama, and that has its sights set on Georgia and the Florida Panhandle, where there is also an isolated severe threat for the morning and into the afternoon. So if you had travel plans, especially to Atlanta, if that's where your flight connected today, I know that's a huge hub. They don't call it the busiest airport in the world for nothing. Just know you need to keep an eye on that flight if you do have a connection in Atlanta through the day today, because they're expecting multiple rounds of storms, including the potential for severe weather. Here at home, as we wait for that front, it is quiet to start the day, and we do have some patchy fog out there. But as I mentioned yesterday, we weren't expecting as as widespread fog, and that's definitely not the case. Very patchy this morning. Half a mile in Brooksville. We are starting to see some more dense fog develop to the east of Lakeland there in eastern Polk County, and then up the Nature Coast into the Inverness area. Some reduced visibility. Doesn't look like that's spilling onto I-75 though. Here's a look at your current temperatures. Warmer closer to the water. We're at 70 right now in Tampa, 66 in Safety Harbor and in West Chase. A little cooler inland, 59 in Plant City, 63 in Lakeland, 60 in Zephyr Hills, 57 in Brooksville, 67 if you're waking up with us in Sarasota. High temperatures today back in the low 80s. You will notice an increase in cloud cover through the day today. Notice that 10% chance for maybe a stray shower. Can't rule out a quick passing shower a little later this afternoon. That does look mainly to be north of Tampa. Let's take you through Futurecast here and kind of show you what to expect as these weather systems impact the country. Again, snow for parts of the Dakotas into the Great Lakes region today and tomorrow. But of course, rain and storms continuing late morning into the afternoon across the southeast. Look, all across Alabama into Georgia. If you had flights or you're planning on driving there today, you got to be really careful and pay attention to those travel plans. And then that front moves into our area tomorrow and Thursday. Stray shower possible Wednesday afternoon. And then, of course, for your Thanksgiving holiday, we'll start cloudy and then cooler air will usher in. I'm not going to rule out a stray shower for the morning on Thursday just because of the moisture in the air. Here's a look at that Turkey Day forecast. I know you're already probably getting everything you need ready to rock and roll for the day. Waking up in the 60s, highs only in the low 70s, maybe a spotty shower. It'll be nice and breezy as well. And then it gets even cooler on Friday. That cold air really makes itself at home Friday morning. Low 40s along the Nature Coast Friday morning, upper 40s to near 50 across the Bay Area and areas south and for our inland communities. Not only that, the humidity is going to take a nosedive starting Thursday into Friday, but then notice it goes right back up into the upcoming weekend. So this cooler snap, this drier snap of weather will be brief for us. Nice day to get out on the water today.